Hey guys, Andrew made his video last night, which is pretty cool, so I thought I'd do the same thing. I've got an $11 tournament here that I played on PokerStars last night. Um, I managed, you'll see when I got a shitload of chips and I managed to get up to first, and I was leading by an absolute mile. And then by the end of it, I just about sneaked into the money, so it was going great and then not so great. I've got Poker Cruncher here, so if we need to look at some hand ranges when we're analysing some stuff, I can pop into that. I'll try and go pretty quick through them though, so we can get through the whole tournament. There aren't that many hands, and I've only got stuff I've e-pipped, so we're just looking at the hands that I played. Let's go for it. Ace 5 suited under the gun, easy open to 2.5. I joined a bit late, so I've only got 60 big blinds here, so I think the tournament probably starts about 100. So I came in a bit late, but getting a 6-5-5 flop with the Ace 5 suited is pretty nice to start off with. I think I'll probably check back this board a lot against two players, especially with my ace highs. But I still want to bet a lot of my pairs from under the gun, a lot of my heart draws. I'll probably bet any two diamond combo as well, so that's fine. So even when I have the ace 5, it's alright. I think checking back the turn's cool, just to disguise the hand a bit. If I go barreling, then he's going to fold out anything that's not an overpair. We get a jack on the river, we bet, and he has the ace jack. I guess that's the reason why it's nice to check back the turn, because we let him catch up and then we get 11 big blind of value, so that's pretty cool. Right. Ace jack offsuit in the small blind. We get a raise from, what's that, button cut off hijack, so I think low jack I would 3-bet ace jack offsuit. Before that I probably wouldn't turn this into a 3-bet because I'm behind a lot of their ace-x range, so I don't want to 3-bet and be dominated, especially with an offsuit hand, because it's hard to play out of position. So, but from the hijack, this guy's fairly solid stats off 5 hands, so easy 3-bet, we pick it up. Easy opens 2.5, king queen offsuit. So I check back the flop. Just it's one of those where it's pretty hard to have something on this board. So if he's any good, he'll probably check raise me a lot because I'll be betting with a lot of air. So it's nice just to check it back. If we can let him catch up a little bit, we can get more value. And then he leads into us on this turn, which is a bit odd. So at the moment I'm thinking he probably has 2 spades. He maybe picked up a 5. I'm not sure what else he could have. We do block some of the best spade draws, but he is in the big blind, so that's fine. So instead of raising, I just call, see what happens on the river. We land the full house. He overbets into us, so pretty weird at this point. I'm thinking he probably has a worse queen, or he's just bluffing. He could just be bluffing off, trying to pick up the pot, but betting into the king's a bit weird because I have a lot more kings at this point than he probably does. Because I'm probably calling down with hands like ace king, king jack, things like that I would check back the flop and then call a bet on the turn. And then obviously with the full house, the only hand that beats me here is pocket kings. So I mean, he doesn't have pocket kings, can re-raise me, so easy all in. And he got absolutely coolared, so poor guy. He was from the UK, so I spoke to him a bit after this, and he seemed pretty nice. And there's a few hands later in the tournament where we chat a bit, and we have a good little battle, so it's quite fun. I had ace 3 here, ace 3 suited, and then easy open from cut off. And then once we get 3-bet and jammed cold 4-bet, it's fine to put it down. Easy limp with the suited hand, even though we're quite deep. I could raise it. This guy's pretty tight, so I probably should have raised the 3 big blinds to try and get him to fold, but I don't really want to play ace-jack suited out of position with his 3 big blind calling range, especially when he's tight. If he calls with those stats, then he's probably going to have a good hand that either has me dominated or, it's a hand like Ace King or, King Queen, Ace Queen, Ace Jack, that kind of thing. King Jack, Queen Jack. Lovely flop. Get a fold. Standard open with King Queen off. 100 big blinds now. Everyone else is about, what do they got? Everyone's about 40 big blind effective. So we're basically playing 40 big blind poker here. I probably should just bet this ace flop into the big blind. The ace smacks my range, and, I don't know why I check it back. I probably should just c-bet to, 2.5, 2 big blinds here. I turn it up on the river as though I'm delayed c-betting and he folds, so he probably had nothing. I'm sure a 9 would call there. So, pair of jacks in the small blind. With this tight guy behind me, I probably could just jam, because these guys, oh, this is in the way. These guys are playing 20, I'm basically playing 25 big blind poker with these two guys who are playing early position. And I'm not folding jacks, so I probably could just jam it with this guy being so tight, but I probably didn't look at his HUD stats when I was playing, because I was playing 7, 8 other tables. So, yeah, I remember thinking, do I jam this or not? And I probably should have just got it in. But I 3-bet to 10, which is fine. Going first position jams. I'm processing at this point, easy call. He turns up ace jack offsuit, so terrible call from him. I mean, the hands I'm 3-betting here against these two positions are basically ace king, ace queen, probably not ace queen, and then aces, kings, queens, jacks. Tens are probably flat because their calling range is going to smash me with tens, to be honest. They're not going to be jamming me 4-bet with nines, so I don't know what he's doing calling there, but he sucks out on me. He gets the straight, so that's just poker. 80 big blinds now, and everyone else has got about 30, 40. If it was suited, I'd probably 3-bet king queen, especially as this guy. Well, I mean, he's a bit tight, so I don't think there's that much point in 3-betting him, because if I get called, then I'm probably in bad shape, even though I'm in position. Nice flop. The lead from the big blind and then the call here is a bit rubbish, but I think for the price we get, we have to put in 3.81. 3.81 to win 18 is just, I can't put down top pair, second kicker with that. And then I pick up the straight draw on the turn, so that's brilliant. I might not have the best hand now, but if we get a cheap price for the river, then happy days. This guy rips it for, what's that, 2.5 times the pot, 49 big blinds. He basically goes all in, which is just insane. And so I mean, I have to fold king queen here. There's nothing I'm beating against the same person, right? I mean, king jack, king 10. He could have kings. I mean, there's only one of the kings left, but he could have jacks, 10s, 8s. I mean, I can't. He could have a straight. He could have ace queen. I don't know what I'm ahead of here. Big blind calls him off for his 16 big blinds, so that's only, he's only he's getting 3 to 1, so that's not bad. He turns up with jack 9, and he has 7, 8 with the diamond draw, so I mean, this is pretty insane. I don't really expect a guy he's played 2 hands or 3 hands in 23 to have 7, 8 suited in the, what's that, in the hijack, but maybe he was just card dead, but this is just pretty insane. I don't know what he's expecting. I mean, it's a shame I folded, because I had by far the best hand, really, but I'm just never calling that off without at least a set, I think, on this board. If I had kings, 10s, jacks, I would have called that off, but yeah, it's just insane, isn't it? What are these people doing? It's great. That's when you know you're in a good tournament, when this kind of shit happens. I think ace 9 here, I'm probably getting after it a bit, but, I mean, obviously suited, I'm definitely raising that. Even under the gun, I'm definitely raising ace 9 suited, but this is a bit loose, but, you got to pick up some chips in these tournaments, and Nobody was that 3-bet happy behind me. This guy's 3-bet that one time. This guy 3-bet a little bit, but I'm not that scared about getting shoved off, so it's fine. Happy flop. I remember this was a misclick. I was coming back onto the table and I hit the wrong button, or I pressed enter or something, and so it just min bet, which was a bit annoying. He calls anyway. We pick up the 2-pair, so I think maybe I can go bigger here because I can get called by any 2 clubs. The queen's probably going to call maybe if I bet 7 or 8 big blinds. So I think I like going a bit bigger, but I have my default sizings on my little bar, and they're a third, a half, and 66% or something. So that's probably why I just hit my 66% button and went for it. So yeah, I think I like a little bit bigger there. Charge the clubs more. Any ace king, ace jack, ace 10. Easy call here from the tight guy. So he bets into us on the flop. We have the ace. That's just, easy call. He gets half pot again. We call. We get the. Now this is pretty interesting. So the pot's 23 big blinds. He's got 39 behind, so 1.5 times the pot. We hit 2 pair. So I mean, I don't think he was barreling off with 7-8 on the flop. So I don't think he has a straight here ever. Really, that'd be pretty insane. So yeah, he probably has an ace at this point, and once I hit the 9, I pretty much think I have the best hand. He's a tight guy, so I don't really expect him to have 3s. I think a player like with these stats might limp 3s. We block aces. He might have 10s, but, So I decide just to rip it in here. If I didn't pick up the 9, I wouldn't be doing this. I'll probably just bet 10 big blinds for value or something, and then fold to a jam. But I think when he was that aggressive on the earlier 2 streets, I don't think he's folding here. So obviously we lose to ace 10, but that's life. I think any other ace, ace king, ace queen, ace jack, they're not going to fold to this. So I think it's pretty exploitive just to get a bit of a fishy guy to call. And pretty brave call, ace 5. I mean, yeah, I probably do have a lot of bluffs here. Maybe hands like king, queen, king, jack, queen, jack. I would bluff this river with if I was just calling down, but calling down looking for the gut shots, and then he checks the river. But I mean, as well, I'm not really scared of ace 10 or the sets, because once he checks the river, checks the river to me, I mean, I don't really think he has a great hand, because he just want to get value. He'd at least bet 15, 20, so once he checks, I think he's got an ace, so I jam it in, and happy days. I think here now I'm up to 115 big blinds. Everyone else has about 24. I was by far in the lead of the tournament, so I was pretty happy. Ace 9 suited in the cutoff, easy raise. 2 big blind raise now because everyone else is 20 big blinds effective here. I don't want to get jammed on by the button or the big blind because I'm giving them a good price of 2.5, so I'm down to 2 now. We get 3-bet from the small blind. It's this guy earlier that we played where we hit the full house and he had the 5s and our boat beat his boat. So this is the guy I chatted to a little bit and he was pretty cool and he seemed like the best player at the table. So yeah, it's a good little battle, and so I called us 3-bet. I'm thinking if he's good, he's 3-betting things like ace 10 off, ace 5 suited, ace jack off. I think he has a pretty wide 3-bet range here, so especially to my cutoff open. So we flop the open ender, and he checks to us. He could be checking a lot of his range here. He could have aces with a club, kings with a club that he's happy to check, and see if we can bluff off to it. So I just check behind. I don't think there's any need to bet here. I don't want to get check raised because I've got great equity and I'm not calling an all in or anything like that. So turn is the 5 of spades. So we now have the straight and by far the best hand. I don't remember what I do here, but he checks to me again. So I'm thinking he doesn't have an overpair at this point. He might have a club draw, but I don't think so at this point. I think I definitely have the best hand. So I bet small, just because, I don't know what I'd want to bet big with here. Maybe I want to bet big with nines, tens, jacks for protection on the river because he might still have 2 overs, and that's what he's got 6 outs. So, but yeah, I think betting small here is nice. You don't want to bloat the pot too much. And what would I bet with that I could conceivably have that wants to bet big? This is probably the only hand I have. Or obviously, I probably fold my twos if he three bets me, but I'll probably call with 7, 6, and 5s. So I could have the sets, but now the club comes on the river, which isn't great. He might have the flush, but I doubt it because he probably would bet the flop, or at least he bet one of the flop all the turn. So I'm not that scared of the flush. But then he does bet half pot into me, and he's only got 13 behind, so he's bet half his stack here. He could shove for basically a pot-sized bet, but I just call. It's probably a bit weak. I might as well go for the kill. But then I'm thinking, if I shove, what am I getting called by? And would Ace-Jack call me here? Would Aces call? Aces, Kings, Queens probably call me here if I shove because they've let me hit the Jack and go for it. But I'm looking back at it. This is probably weak. I should probably just put them all in. Hope to get called by Aces, Kings, Queens. He might not be betting those in earlier rounds because he can still get the chips in quite easily because his stack's 34. But once I bet 6 here, his stack's 27 and 29, so he didn't have to bet the flop all the turn to get stacks in quite easily. So yeah, maybe I should just jam it in and hope he has Aces, Kings, Queens. Turns out he has Ace-Jack and he goes for thin value with the Ace Clubs blocker on the river, which is fair enough. I probably should raise him, and I think he would call at this point. So I probably missed some value there, which is a mistake, but we got lucky and hit the straight, so you can't complain. But yeah, I'm probably missing out on 15 big blinds there. Ace King on the button. I make it 10.5 here. These guys they're quite deep, these guys. Obviously 22 here. He's going all in here if he's doing anything. These guys are quite deep, so I can make it 10.5. If they had 30 big blinds, I'd probably be making it 7 or something. I don't want to make it so big that they just basically have to jam it in if they want to play. So I make it 10.5, disincentivize at least one of them not to call because I don't want both of them coming along. And then the guy, I mean, this is crazy. So, I mean, the guy opening it's the first time he's actually raised rather than limped. So I should be a bit scared of that, but with Ace King, I'm not really scared of anything, to be honest. I'm blocking aces, blocking kings. I'm happy to get it in the flip against queens or jacks because that's just how it is. And then this guy who called, he's pretty tight, but he does 3 bet, so you'd think he doesn't have his best hands here. He jams it for 60 bigs, which is just insane. I mean, I'm not folding here. He doesn't have aces or kings. You'd think he doesn't have aces or kings because he would have 3 bet. He probably doesn't have queens. Probably doesn't have ace king, so easy call. We hope it's ace queen, hope it's ace king. And the guy turns up with 6s, so we ended up in a flip, but this is just, if he's ever jamming, if he's jamming 6s here, I'm never folding ace king because that's just insane. Like, yeah, that's pretty crazy. Maybe he's hoping that I fold out ace jack, ace queen, but yeah, strange one. Considering I've only 3 bet, a thin range so far. I 3 bet ace jack from the small blind earlier. I can't remember any others, so I've been pretty tight with my 3 bet so far in this tournament because I haven't had many other opportunities. And I did the jacks earlier, but yeah, it's just insane and free chips. So thank you very much. This is the guy that jammed 8-7 earlier on that really wet board with the flush, with the king, jack, 10, 9 or whatever. So he's obviously insane, and that probably helped me call off because he was obviously insane after that play. So now we're really in the lead of the tournament. 172 big blinds. No one else has more than 50 at the table, so we're just absolutely flying here. 10s, easy 3 bet. We get a fold. Sorry guys if you can hear my computer, it's just absolutely whirring. 4-9 in the big blind, a 2.2 raise. I think if this is from earlier than cut off, I'd fold, but against the button range, I can't fold any suited hand really. I'd play 10-2, 9-2. Lovely flop, we get middle pair and we get a flush draw. I did think about check raising here if he bets, but with the 9, I don't want to. because, you know, I don't really want to get it all in against 64 big blinds if he re-raises me again, because he could have a better flush draw, and then I'm pretty dead. I mean, I have the pair, but if he has 2 other cards and a better flush draw, then we're about 50-50, and there's no need to get all that money in here. We can just play the hand sensibly. So he bets small, easy call. We get the 3, which doesn't help us at all. But then he bets big, so that's 70% pot. So I'm thinking now, you know, he probably has a king or a flush draw, so I'll just call again. No need to do anything else than call here. I don't want to rip it. Hope for a spade or a 9. Rubbish river for us. I mean, my thought is here, if he bets big, I'm going to have to fold. If he bets less than half pot, I'm probably calling. If he bets 15, you know, I'm probably folding. Even with my big stack, there's no need to be cool happy here. 16, and then yeah, I just fold. He could be bluffing the flush draw, but it's pretty hard for him to have 2 spades when I have 2 spades, so I'll just put it down. Limp from this guy. Now I probably would 3-bet this hand, but I don't want to 3-bet with all these small stacks here. If I 3-bet to, well, it's not really 3-bet because he limps, but if I go to 3 or 4 big blinds here and I get jammed on, I can't call, so it's just a waste. So I'll just limp along. It flops nicely multi-way, so there's no need to do anything else. I can make a good flush. As you see, this guy raised. Easy call. 4 of us go to the flop. We're in position. Oh, sorry, he's got position, but you know, it's not so bad. We get 2 spades. Happy days. This guy jams it for less than half pot. Going small blind goes all in as well. I'm just calling here. There's nothing else to do but call. I've got, you know, I'm putting in 12 to win 55. You know, the odds I'm getting here, I need 21% equity. If I have 9 clean outs, what does that give me? 9 clean outs. I've got way more than 21%, so that's just easy maths. Call it off. We don't hit a spade. Sadly, he took up 2 of our outs. This guy had kings, and he took 1 of our outs as well, but that's fine. I got great odds, so no problem there. I mean, this guy was absolutely dead. He had to hope for a queen and a 7 off spade, so we had him crushed, and then we were about 50-50 with this guy, so easy call. Shame we didn't win it. 5-4 suited. This is one where, even though we have these shove stacks, I'm kind of happy to 3-bet because this guy's deep, so yeah, I would. If this guy jammed, I'd have to call because I'm priced in. Looking back at it, I probably forgot I had these shove stacks behind me, and I was just playing 50 big blind poker. This is a mistake now I'm thinking about it. This is again where I'm playing a load of other tables. I look up, see the 5-4, I see the 50 big blind stack that raised, and I thought, cool, easy 3-bet with the suited connector. 9-8, 10 Jack 10 odd call because I'm more, but 5-4 I'm not likely to be dominated, so I'm happy to 3-bet it. Luckily we don't get jammed on. He calls. We go to the flop. We have backdoor clubs, black backdoor straight, and we have a pair. So we've got all the draws to hit a 5, a 4, a club, a 2, a 6, all good cards. Standard C-bet. I want protection from the 5. If I can get 2 other cards to fold, like king, queen, ace, 10, then happy days. He calls. I don't think there's any need to barrel here. I've got showdown value. If he called with king, queen, if he called with backdoor flush draw, like king, queen, king 10, queen 10, that kind of thing, then it would be good to get those hands to fold, but he could easily have a jack or better, so no need to barrel. Marginal made hand. 7 again. He bets into us. I can't fold here. He could have anything that's trying to bluff with small, and he's just scared to bluff big, so easy call. And he turns up the queens, so would have been nice if he 4-bet us pre-flop and we could have folded, but hey-ho. 2's in the small blind. These guys are quite deep, so I'm happy to set mine, especially for a good price. Easy call. Flop's not for us. They check. Small bet. easy fold. He bets again. I mean, at this point, what's that? Oh, sorry. Let me go forward. Small bet, third pot again. When the queen comes, I doubt he has a queen at this point because I want a bit bigger to protect from all the draws. There's so many draws here, so he's probably betting with diamonds himself, and then he probably has nothing, so that's fine. I have no idea how long I've been going for, but I'll keep going. This guy who's Limpy McGee, look at that, 56-0, proper limper. If I had a better hand, I'd raise to 4 big blinds or whatever and call off this jam if I had ace queen, ace king, ace jack. You know, not 8s plus, but I don't have any hand like that, so I'll just limp along. Why not? I'm on the button. We hit a pair, but it's not our flop. Easy check. And now we can just get out of the way when these two bet. See what they turn up with. Yeah, look, I was easily beat, even with a rubbish hand. This guy limps again. Again, I'd like to raise queen jack, but I don't want to raise to 3 big blinds and have this guy jam on me because I don't want to call off with such a marginal hand. You know, it flops great, so I'll just limp and hope to see a flop. This guy jams, easy fold. He's super tight as well, so I wouldn't call, even with ace queen offsuit, I'd probably fold here because he's so tight. Jacks, raise it up. We get jammed on 15 big blinds and the big blind. 3 ways, I'm still not folding this. I know he's tight, but you know, what can you do? Jacks are great, I'm not folding jacks, especially 15 big blinds. If he 3-bet me on like a 80 big blind stack, I would probably just call in position. I don't want to get it in for that many big blinds, but 15 big blinds and 20, you know, he could be calling with anything here. So easy call. Not the flop we want to see. And ace jack and 9s. And this is exactly why I call. You know, I've got 70% equity against him, 85% against him, so I got more than my odds and just didn't work out. And this is the demise of our stack, as you can see. We were 170 big blinds, and now we're down to 40. 60 suited, 1 big blind to win 7.6, easy call. I'm basically calling any 2 suited cards here, especially when there's maybe like 9-2, 8-2 suited, I wouldn't, but these can make a straight, so I'm calling. That's not our flop, no hearts. Checks through. We get a 2, which is pretty nice. 1 big blind, I'm not folding a 2 here. You know, he could have jack 10 and be bluffing, king 10, king jack. He could have anything, so I'm calling. And we hit a boat on the river, which is pretty crazy. They've got 6 big blinds left, so I'm calling whatever they. You know, I lose to an ace, but that's life. They could get in with a queen here. They get it in, we call, and we're against the ultimate 4 of a kind. So yeah, this is what happens when you get a big stack in a tournament. You run into all the hands and you lose. It's probably a good excuse not to call 6-2 here, but you know, it happens. We made a boat. I'm not folding. This guy limps again. We limp along. 10-8 suits is great. We got gut shot and backdoor flush draw. It's very nice. I bet because good things like that happen. We get 3 folds. So, you know, I could be nitty and check it and be thinking, oh, someone definitely has a queen here. I might get jammed on, but, you know, you got to bet your draws, bet and take it down. 9-10 suited, great hand. Raise it up, 2 big blinds. We get 3 bet from the button. We're on 26 big blinds. You know, I'm getting pretty good odds here. Can I realise 30% equity out of position? I probably can't, and I should fold, especially because a 5 big blind 3 bet looks so strong. But this guy's got 17% 3 bet, so it's pretty weak to fold to those kind of stats, I think. So let's see what I do. He jams, easy fold. That takes out the hard decision. Right, ace-9 offsuit on the button. What have we got? I'm 16 big blinds here. Obviously, I've had no hands for a while since the last hand. So I've lost a few chips. This guy raises it. I'm just ripping it in. Easy decision. Ace nine's great. You know, I beat so much with his raising range here. He might fold out ace 10, he might fold out ace jack. He might fold out tens, so easy jam. We win some blinds. Ace king. We know what we're doing with this one. Even he gets under the gun, I'm just ripping it in for 20 big blinds. No decision there. We get overcalled, which is the worst. We hit an ace, we hit a king. And it's ace king, so it's pretty sad, but, you know, live to fight another day. Ace king again, easy jam for 20 big blinds, especially against 2.5 here. We win an extra half big blind. 5-4 suited in the big blind. I'm calling anything, any sensible raise here. He bets one big blind into this. I went through this tournament quickly before I recorded. I know that I fold here. As you can see, I fold, and that's just so weak. You know, I've got backdoor straight draw. I've got backdoor flush draw. If I hit 5 or 4, it's probably the best hand because this guy's pretty wide. He's raising at the cutoff. He's raising in the hijack. This is just so weak. Even on this many big blinds, I've got a call there. See if we can hit a heart, a 6, an 8, a 4 or 5. 8 big blinds now, so I've been through the blinds and I'm getting hit. 2.4 off a very small stack here. This is probably a really good hand. If he's not jamming it and raising it, it's probably aces or kings or queens. I should just fold here. Calling is terrible. I don't know why I call. Awful call. Big mistake. And a mistake at this many big blinds is terrible because if I got it in, you know, if I get ace king next hand and I get it all in with 8 big blinds, I can get up to 20. When I'm getting it in now with 5.5, I'm going up to 13 big blinds, so it's a really costly mistake there because I can't double as much anymore. As you can see, we get jacks. If I had 8 big blinds, 8.5 still, I'd be doubling up to almost 20, which would be great. I'm back in the tournament, but here I can only double up to 13 or so not great. We get it in. Happy days. We get called by the big blind. And they wake up with kings, so, you know, after we won those early couple of hands, it really wasn't our tournament, but I did sneak in the cash. I think that's why my big blinds fell so much without me entering many hands, because I just tightened up. It was an $11 tournament. I think min cash was $17.50 or something, so, you know, once I fell so many big blinds, I just wanted to sneak into the cash and take the min cash, and then try and chip up afterwards, but it just wasn't my day. Right guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I didn't actually get Poker Cruncher out at any point. I don't think there was that many tough spots to go through. If I just look at the hand list here, see if I can think of any exciting spots. Where do we have a cool spot? I can't think of that many, to be honest. We didn't really play that many hands, did we? Considering I got to the money in this tournament, I didn't actually play that many hands. Let's see what my HUD stats were for this tournament. I won't show my lifetime stats. So I had 137 hands in total. I played 21%. I'm probably overcalling a bit too much. I should probably be... My 3-bet's pretty high though. So I was quite aggressive, but I probably called with quite a few. I guess this with this fish limping over here, that's probably dragged down my pre-flop raise stat because I was limping behind with Queen Jack and Ace 10 suited and that kind of thing when I had the shove stacks behind me. But these are pretty normal stats for me. I range from 19 VPIP to about 28, depending on how hot I run with cards, and if the table's really tight, I'll play more hands, because if they're tight, I can steal the blinds more and that kind of thing. As you can see, I played 28 hands out of 136. Yeah, it's pretty standard, to be honest. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was pretty fun going through that. I went through it earlier and I was thinking, I didn't make that many mistakes, but you know, when you say it all out loud, then you do notice that you are making some errors. Like I was making errors with I made some errors calling with the Jack 9 there. That was terrible. When I 3-bet this 5-4 hand, that was a big mistake with these shove stacks behind me. You know, if they wake up with anything 10s plus, maybe even 8s plus, Ace Jack plus, they're probably going to rip it in for these stacks. And I have to call off, but it's terrible because I'm getting the right odds, but I don't want to lose 20 big blinds for 5-4 suited, so this is a big mistake. And obviously it didn't work out for me, so I got punished, and that's my bad. But yeah,